Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial. Like I said in a previous video, I wanted to show you how to install Drupal on the newest Debian 12 server. So let's get to it. First of all, of course, I'm gonna run some updates. Since I have the server prepared, I'm just gonna check for updates here. Okay, now let's check if all the required things are installed. So sudo I'm gonna also install a little package called locate, which is very handy. I encourage you to use it. Next we're gonna do update db, which is relevant for the locate. Thanks to that, every time you're changing something on your server, you should use this. Now we're gonna base everything on Nginx. In the previous video I was talking about Apache, but after configuring a Drupal with Apache, I noticed that there was some problems with clean URLs, so I decided to switch to Nginx, and Nginx went without any problems. So I'm gonna show how to install everything with the newest Nginx. Okay, so we got our Nginx installed. Let's start the service. Now enable. And if you want, you can always check the status. Okay, next we're gonna install some additional stuff. So LSB release, apt transport htaccess, certificates, and so on. All of this is gonna be required for our certificates to be created later on. Okay, I'm gonna clear the screen. Okay, so we're gonna install GPG keys. This is for PHP8.2. Now we're gonna add the PHP packages to our etc apt sources.list, so we can actually download PHP8.2. I'm gonna run sudo apt update. I'm copying everything because I have everything prepared in my notes, which is faster this way. Right, so now after all of this, we're gonna install PHP8.2, of course with FPM. So everything is gonna be based on the newest PHP. Once again, this is Debian 12 Bookworm edition. Installing all the available modules. Okay, now we're gonna start the service. Of course, after that we're gonna enable it once again. We're gonna check the status of the service. After that we're gonna go to the main PHP ini file. We're gonna make some changes. So output buffering off. Change also upload temp directory. You can also change upload max file size. Post max file size. And of course the memory limit is going to be used. After all of this, we're just going to restore the service. So we saved all of the changes in our PHP ini file and we have restarted everything. Okay, I'm just gonna run the installer once again. Okay, we got everything. Now I'm gonna install MARIADB because this is the database that I'm gonna be using here. You can use Postgres or MySQL if you wish. I'm using MariaDB server and MariaDB client, and these are all the additions for PHP that I'm using as well. Okay, so now we can just start MariaDB. We can enable the service, of course, and we can check if the service is running. It's running without any errors. Next, we can do a secure installation of MySQL. Okay, so no, and then we're gonna choose yes, 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 and yes. this, we can log into MySQL using root account, root password. Now we're gonna create a Drupal database. So my database is gonna be named DrupalDB. The user is gonna be just Drupal, and the password for the user's database is gonna be just password. Next, we're gonna grant the privileges to this database to this user. We're gonna flush privileges and exit from MySQL. Next, since we are using the newest MySQL, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna add one more line. Okay. So after all of this, now we're gonna just use wget to download Drupal. Downloading from drupal.org. Next, we're gonna create a directory, which is gonna be var www.html Drupal, and we're gonna extract everything from the archive to this folder. After that, we need to set the ownership of this folder. So I'm gonna set also the privileges, and then we're gonna jump to the folder and move everything from it to this folder. Okay, now we can go to, let's see, Nginx. Then we can go to conf. Gonna create a Drupal configuration. Which is gonna look something like this. So server is gonna be listening on port 443, so I'm gonna use SSL. This is our root directory. We're gonna include some snippets for self-signed certificate. If you don't have a domain name, the SSL parameters allowed, so which IP addresses are going to be allowed, everything that is denied besides those addresses, and the additional deny stuff that should be logged on your website. Of course, we are using PHP8.2 FP and socket. Gonna save everything. So now we're gonna create the certificate. Actually, I can use Drupal. Okay. So next we're gonna create our first snippet, which is gonna be allowed. So this is gonna be called access control. This is how it looks. So I am allowing subnet, specific IP address, and localhost. Next I'm gonna create the deny snippet. Here I'm gonna put the deny all clause. Next is gonna be deny stuff. And this one is gonna be quite long. So there you go. So in the deny stuff configuration, we have like don't log favicon, don't log robots.txt, deny yaml, twig, markdown. If you're using certbot, allow access to certbot. And deny all attempts to access hidden files. Deny all grunt composer files. Deny access to any files with .php extension. Allow well-known URIs. Allow access to hidden files and directories. Don't allow directory access to PHP files in vendor directory. And of course enforce the clean URLs. So this is the stuff that wasn't actually working properly on Apache. Here shouldn't have any problems with it. Let's save everything. Okay, so the next snippet that we're gonna create is gonna be the self-signed certificate and the key. So snippets, self-signed, and here we're gonna put our two files. So we have created previously self-signed certificate and self-signed key. And the last snippet is gonna be SSL parameters. I'm gonna use this, of course, without those protocols. And probably without stapling. Alright, so basically now we have everything, almost everything configured. I'm just gonna go to, let's see, Nginx. I'm gonna go again to my Drupal configuration, because I think I'm gonna need server name. let's check what we have after we do nginx -t. So syntax is okay. Now we're gonna restart our nginx. Let's check the status. Okay, everything seems fine. Okay, so last but not least, we will need to find settings.php in our Drupal. And we need to modify some stuff, but first, before we do it, I'm just gonna launch here the install. Let's try. I'm gonna see if yeah. So probably so I would still need to fix my domain name, because the certificate is fine and it's for Drupal and yeah. Set to this one. Well, I'm just gonna change for English standard. As you can see, we skipped the verify requirements. If you use Apache, you're gonna have quite a lot of requirements to meet here. Okay, database name. So our database name was DrupalDB. Username was just Drupal. Password was just password. Okay, so of course you can also add to Nginx some headers. That was one snippet I didn't actually create, headers snippet. You can find it online as well. I'm just gonna do test. Some bogus email. Username admin. Country, whichever. Gonna save it. Okay, so as you can see, we have like our website, but it's not how it's supposed to be. It looks a little bit fucked, just probably because we are actually blocking quite a lot of stuff with our snippets. So let's just go to our main configuration. And we're gonna actually, for now, check if that's the problem. Gonna restart Nginx. Exactly, as you can see, when I actually disabled my deny stuff, it's Probably some of the stuff that I included here in the snippets, in my deny stuff snippet, is blocking maybe PHP or something else. Since I don't want to actually dwell on it, you can check it up on yourself, which thing is actually blocking what from the snippets. The easiest way, if you see this kind of error, you can always just go to the main configuration and just scratch it for a moment, and then just one after another check which one is causing the problem. The same goes to the headers. If you create a header snippet, there is one particular header that always causes problems, so bear in mind that the same stuff is gonna probably happen if you add headers here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. I just wanted to show something else because we have an error message here in the configuration. If we go to configuration, and it says that one or more problems were detected with your Drupal installation. I'm gonna give a status report, and then we have one error here. Got details, and it actually says trusted host settings not enabled. So to enable trusted host settings. So this is the last thing that we were meant to do here, at least in Nginx. That's the only error I have encountered. Apart from, of course, the snippets, but that's another thing, because this was added by me. Okay, so we need to go to settings.php, which is actually located here in the var www html Drupal sites default. And here we have settings.php. We need to open this. And here at the end of the file, we need to add one additional setting. So settings, trusted host patterns, so localhost, and then the IP address of the server that is hosting the Drupal, and of course here again a localhost. And we're gonna restart Nginx as well. And everything is fine. All the checks have been passed properly. So this is how you actually can install Drupal 10.1.1 using PHP8.2 with memory limit to 156, MariaDB, Nginx, and of course self-signed certificates in this case. Although it should work with my server name. Apparently haven't set something, but the certificate is set for the domain name. Probably something I didn't set on my configuration. Okay, well, without any further dwelling on it, like, subscribe, of course, if you like the content. Once again, this is Debian 12, not 11. I'm gonna also include in this video, in the below the video, I'm gonna include the snippet for deny stuff. So it's quite long. If you would like to use it for your own benefits, go for it. And there is quite a lot of stuff that I have actually gathered in it. Just bear in mind that you need to test some stuff, because the same way as you saw in my video, I've included so many things that they actually started to block my own website. So, okay, thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.